Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone out there is doing just fine and that you're all having a great day. I just woke up. It's one of those, my brain isn't completely, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just, I just completely, don't forget to something. Don't, wait. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's a brand new video every 24 hours, something like that. I can't remember the rest of it. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Hope everyone's doing okay. The news and the life are always, there always seems to be a lot of stuff going on all the time out there. So in crypto, we are slowly crawling along in the month. We are near the point where everyone's talking about that the cryptocurrency market is supposed to see super explosive moves. If you've not seen that news at some point, it has to do with the idea of a lot of the cryptocurrency ETFs. I mean, there's been so much ETF news, it's crazy. The September-October timeframe is when we have heard that the SEC is meant to give the final thumbs up or thumbs down for the multitude or the maximum of the ETFs that are currently basically waiting. We also had news recently as well regarding a rule change that was a doozy. The SEC apparently recently changed the rules that say if you have some kind of a futures, if your coin has a futures and it's going through a large exchange such as Coinbase or the one that we got over and over was Coinbase. Basically, your coin is then eligible to have a proper ETF without any delay or something like that. So then this pops up and it is a complete smorgasbord of 38 and a half different things. We'll go through it. A lot of it is just I don't understand how a lot of this stuff even ends up making it into a rumor and then other people believe it. But it's okay, alas, here we are. So, all right, I'm trying to scroll down okay, there we go. So Ripple every single year has an event called swell, SWELL. It's meant to reference water literally swelling and rising. Sure. Ripple's flagship 2025 swell conference is apparently scheduled for the 22nd to the 23rd of October of this year in London. I think these started back in 2018, something like that. Ripple became really popular. And then I want to say 2018, 2019, they had an annual yearly event similar to the ETHCon event and the 17 other Bitcoin events that they have each year. I think there's also one for Solana, and it's okay, cool. So what's been constant about the Ripple swell events over and over is that it's typically an event where they kind of pat themselves on the back and they have a bunch of guest hosts and judges and people on the panel, and people sit there and they talk about how amazing Ripple has been and the strides that they've made and the countries who they're partnered with and how many banks this year compared to last year that they're working with. We're up 14% like that. It's basically that kind of thing. However, there's always another added portion to it, and that's this speculative nature of it. Since these first started, people have spread rumors and had this idea that swell is meant to be an event where something secretive would happen. Some of the earlier ones, this is all true. Some of the earlier ones believed that members of the International Monetary Fund would be on the panel and somebody would stand up and say, "We are proud to announce that XRP is the coin that we're going to use." Or there was speculation that members or groups of a country would go up and say, "Hey, we have completely decided to stop using paper currency. We're going to use XRP instead." I don't know where these things begin, but they've happened every single year. The hot topic, not the store, right now that's going on has to do with ETFs. There seems to be some kind of a nervousness amongst many in the community about which coins are going to get an ETF. And as of yet, XRP still does not have one, or what the community is looking for. People tried to hype up around, was it May or June, that XRP did get an ETF, but it was futures. It's denominated in US dollars. It's paid out in US dollars. We've had futures before. It just doesn't hit the mark. People want like an actual spot. This company is buying XRP from cryptocurrency exchanges, that kind of thing. Baked heavily into all of that is this idea of BlackRock. Heaven help us. BlackRock first got into crypto around 2018, and then around 2022, they shimmied their way over to the SEC, announcing that they wanted a Bitcoin ETF. They ended up getting it in January 2024, and then speculation began to rise as to what other coins were going to get it. I remember saying, I was like, can't we just be happy that we got the thing that we were waiting a decade for? Narp. Everyone else just got really flustered and kept on saying that their coins were going to be next. Ethereum got it, and then since an altcoin, Ethereum got their ETF. Everyone has been clamoring for their coin to get an ETF, none so more than people circling around XRP. The rumor has been since January, if you haven't been here, that once the lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC was completely finalized and over with, that BlackRock was going to triumphantly, and this is the real news, was going to triumphantly announce that they, the whole time, were actually Batman. They'll take off their mask and they'll go, "We've been working with XRP the whole time, and now it's time for our XRP ETF." Everything I just told you has been woven into the rumors for this year, and what happens at every swell conference is always the same. It's always a pat on the back. It's always everyone affiliated or working with Ripple or from Ripple announcing the amazing things that they've done. Their company Ripple does do a lot every single year. But I think this year is going to be extra crazy because people are anticipating something that's probably not going to happen. It says this year's event is shaping up to be one of the most closely watched events in institutional crypto. Among the most notable additions to the speaker lineup is someone by the name of Maxwell Stein. You guessed it, Director of Digital Assets at BlackRock. Whose participation has sparked renewed speculation about the asset manager's potential plans for XRP. It's not enough, apparently, that there are 17 plus different applications for XRP ETFs in the US of A. Everyone is salivating over the idea of BlackRock also being one of the companies as well. XRP will do just fine without BlackRock, but for some reason, this fixation that everyone has to do with XRP won't be validated until BlackRock gives them a nice little bear hug, and it's like, okay, here we go once again. So someone from BlackRock is also going to be there. Stein's presence has been interpreted by many in the XRP community as more than symbolic. Crypto influencer Crypto Airy was quick to urge followers to connect the dots. highlighting the timing of BlackRock's involvement alongside Ripple's pursuit of U.S. trust bank status, a milestone that could integrate XRP into Federal Reserve infrastructure for institutional payments. That's also another thing that people think that someone's gonna get on stage and announce we're Catwoman and we've been secretly working with the Fed this whole time. While no XRP exchange traded fund has been announced, BlackRock's previous success with Bitcoin and Ethereum's ETFs makes the idea of an XRP ETF plausible. Are people tone deaf? Like, are people just not understanding? It doesn't matter if BlackRock files for one or not. There are 17 plus, more than 17 of these already for my brain no thinky, already up for the SEC's approval. You're going to get multiple XRP ETFs. I don't understand what it is with this like weird fascination. And across the board, it's not just people in XRP. Everyone doesn't validate anything until the gigantic man in the castle at the top of the hill gives them a thumbs up. We had, I think, 25 or something like that Bitcoin ETFs launch around the world. Even when Grayscale was the first to get their Bitcoin ETF, people didn't pay attention. It was only when BlackRock got it. It's like, what's the word? It's not, maybe it is brainwashing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like, you know that XRP is like a coin that's already being used by like tons of banks around the world, right? You know that institutions are already buying XRP. You don't need the literal like numeric validation of seeing on a chart on a screen through BlackRock's website that they are buying X. You think somebody from BlackRock is going to this event and these people don't already own XRP? You know how delusional you have to be? It's like that years ago. People thought that BlackRock didn't get into Bitcoin until January 2024. What kind of nonsense is that? You thought these people were just twiddling their thumbs and sitting there going, no. We can't buy any of it. Only through the ETFs. They're BlackRock. They own the world. You think what the director of digital assets at BlackRock is going there because I want to see what's going on. I can't spell the letters X, R, and P, but let's see if they're doing a good job. These people own XRP. I would be shocked if they didn't own a fraction of the company Ripple. There's always this in crypto. There's always this thing that we can't survive. We can't simply make it. We won't make it as a community. You've had 800 companies announcing that they're buying Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, Solana, Litecoin over the last couple of months. And everyone keeps salivating for this one thing. I pray to goodness on October 22nd, I hope that guy stands on stage and says that he sold his house for XRP. I hope he says that Larry Fink was like, I can't sleep anymore. We need to have an XRP ETF just so the community can like simmer down. It is so weird. This is every single year, every single swell. There's always some kind of a weird speculation as to who's going to talk, who's going to say what. These people already own XRP. They've been buying it for years. You think this is their first foray into money? Oh gosh. Anyway, the article continues going on as it is, as you might have imagined, other people in the community were like, just wait, something big is going to happen. And it's always just a pat on the back. On the 22nd and 23rd of October, if someone announces something phantasmagorical, I will make a video and be like, hey guys, you know, they connected the dots. It's the same every year. I don't get it. This is when I say that like people in the space aren't paying attention. This is what I'm talking about. It's so easy to distract with smoke and mirrors. Everyone's paying attention to this thing in October. You're not paying attention to the other almost 20 ETF applications, many of which are going to 10 plus are going to be approved by the SEC. Like, is that not enough for the thing that you are trying to get? Years ago, everyone was speculating back in 2017, 18, 19, 20. At some point, a bank is going to use XRP. We heard from the people from Ripple. We have a bunch of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. We are working with a dozen central banks around the world. Many of them are planning on creating and building their stable coins on top of the XRP ledger. And people go, well, what? But yeah, but swell. XRP is going to do just fine. XRP is literally going to be one of the top coins probably forever because of their you literally heard or read the president of the United States of America announce that XRP is one of the 5 coins that they're going to be using, adopting, buying. Still not enough? Nope, got to wait for the swell conference. Well, that's the let's see news. Oakley dokley. Let's move on. I guess also lightly tying into not paying attention news. It says institutional demand for Ethereum remains at peak levels despite the minor market pullback, with funds still hoovering up the asset. This idea of like market pullbacks is like nearly psychotic. Like I'm not understanding. Remember how I told you before, if you weren't here, what ends up happening is in the cryptocurrency space is that for some reason people nearly thrive on something relatively negative, and I haven't figured out why. On any given day, we might hear that the Ether inflows have $9 million worth of inflows like on that day. However, if the outflows were $500,000, that ends up making the news. I've showed it to you before in other videos, and people focus on, well, money went out, not the fact that 5.5 million, accordingly with the outflow went in. Spot Ether exchange traded funds in the United States bought 7 times more Ether than the network actually produced. One more time. We heard years ago that the exchange traded funds within the United States were purchasing 3 times, 7 times, 14 times the amount of Bitcoin being created. There's only so much of these coins that are minted, mined, created per day. They are buying more than is actually being created. But there's something even more sinister when it comes to Ether. All these companies are buying up all these Ether. Remember all the news that we keep hearing? This company's buying 2.1 billion. This company's starting out with 1 billion. The only way to create Ether is by owning Ether. These people are trying to buy all the Ether so that they literally control the supply that gets created and also monitor the amount that also hits cryptocurrency exchanges, making sure that they own everything. Did you get that? Everyone understood? These people want all of it. They want to even make sure that they know how much is being created because it's being created by them, so that they can, if they want to, sprinkle a little bit, sell some little fraction back onto crypto exchanges so that there is an eternal buying pressure, constantly making the price of it go up forever. What you're seeing now is that they are buying more Ether than they are creating. Think of the loop. Spot Ether exchange traded funds in the United States bought 7 times more ETH than the network produced. The total aggregate inflow, while lower than previous days, was 17,000 ETH. This is lower for 3 weeks, yet still higher than the daily production figure of 2,000. 2,500 were created. They purchased 17,000. It says even on slow days, the Ether ETFs are gobbling up all of the supply. These are the literal words that I've used countless times within this space. There's some kind of a an idea that if the ETFs aren't doing it, then it's not happening. If the ETFs have outflows, you know they also control their own outflows, right? You know, it's institutions who are like buying into these funds, like they literally are chatting with these institutions and the companies running the ETFs. We're going to initiate an outflow today so that prices hopefully fall so that we can buy more over the counter or through this particular exchange because of arbitrage. They buy up these coins. They continue with like it's literally all done. It's just a dance and a song and a game for them. The amount of Ether on exchanges has not been this low. Say it with me. The amount of Ether, this was 3 months ago when we had this news. The amount of Ether on exchanges hasn't been this low since 2015. Google it. Do you know when Ethereum was released? I bet you can't. It was 2015. So, as we continue to see our rich overlords buying up gigantic, massive hordes of these coins, and they make themselves richer, and they control the production and the supply of these coins, just never forget how early you are in this market and that you have the chance to, if you so decide, choose to be a part of this ecosystem and, obtain portions of this wealth that will only be for the very wealthy on this planet. Cryptocurrency prices will not remain this low forever. I can bet my bottom dollar because I've seen it happen before. If you get a chance, the website Coin Market Cap, they literally have a feature. I think it's called a time machine, and you can go back and see on specific dates basically what cryptocurrency prices were. And you are going to be flabbergasted when you see prices from just a few years before and a few years before that and a few years before that, when you realize like, oh, prices keep rising even if I, don't really realize, and they will continue only going higher as these people aim to control everything. Never forget how early you are in this market and how lucky you are to be here at these prices. It'll make a lot more sense to you when Ether's at 25,000 and Bitcoin's over $1 million. I totes prom. Well, methinks that's going to do it for this video, my friends. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, and commenting on the video, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.